It all started after a wild party. One of those late nights, don't remember how we got here kind of nights. Me, Big Joe, and Doc had been drinking way too much. Loud music, people everywhere, fireworks going off. We were laughing, shouting, and trying to find a way back home, but none of us could even walk straight. Let's just walk it off, Joe said. Sober up a little. We wandered into the woods near the edge of town. No one else was around, just dirt trees and the sound of bugs buzzing. The night was dark, no stars, the moon was barely a sliver. Our phone lights were all we had. We didn't even realize we were lost until everything started looking the same. That's when we saw it. A fence. A rusty, broken down fence with a sign so old we could barely read it. It said, "Dog Park permanently closed." The gate was off the hinges. Everything inside looked dead. No grass, just dust, weeds, and silence. Even the wind felt wrong. Joe laughed. "This place is creepy as hell. Let's check it out." I didn't want to, but we were all too drunk to think clearly. We stepped inside. After a few minutes of messing around, that's when we heard it.
Ooh la la, ooh la la.
Low, weird voices, like whispers, but not in any language we knew. It sounded like groaning and growling at the same time. We followed the noise, slowly creeping through the trees. That's when we saw them. A group of people, maybe 8 or 9 of them. They looked filthy. Their clothes were torn and dark with stains. They had long, greasy hair. They were standing in a circle around a dog, a skinny, slivering black dog tied to a stake in the middle of the park. The people were moving in slow circles, barefoot in the dirt, chanting. One of them had a knife. Another one had bones, animal bones tied around its neck. "What the hell is this?" Doc whispered. One of them turned, looked right at us. His eyes were wide, too wide. His mouth looked like he was going to scream, but no sound came out. Then he charged. All of them did. Fast, silent, like animals. We ran. Fast. I didn't care where we were going. I just knew we had to get out. Joe screaming. Doc tripped, but I grabbed him and pulled him up. We didn't look back. Not once. We finally made it to the street. Cold air hit our faces. The world felt normal again. "What the hell was that?" Joe yelled, gasping for air. We couldn't answer. We weren't sure if we had imagined it. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was a nightmare. But we had to go back. We waited until the sun came up. We went together. Same trail, same path. But when we reached the dog park again, it was dead silent. No chanting, no people. But in the middle of the field, the same dog, tied to the same stake. He looked even worse now, bones showing through his skin and cuts on his legs. We approached carefully. He didn't growl. He didn't bark. He just looked at us. His eyes were full of pain, but also something else, like he was begging for us to save him. We checked his tag. It read, "Scion the Sacrifice," and nothing else. No phone number, no address, just that name. We took him straight to the vet. The vet said he was severely dehydrated and has been mistreated. "He's lucky to be alive," the vet said. "There's no microchip, no owner." Doc looked at us and said, "I'm taking him home." It's been months now. Scion is doing better. He's healthy, eats a lot, sleeps in Doc's room. He's a loyal dog, but something's off about him. He never barks. He never plays. Just watches, like he's always listening for something. Sometimes he stands at the window and growls at nothing. Sometimes he whines at night, staring at the wall like someone's there. And every now and then, Doc finds strange symbols scratched into the dirt outside his house, but no one's ever there. Our group doesn't talk about that night anymore. Those people weren't normal. That dog wasn't random. And I still wonder, why was Scion tied in that circle? What were they doing to him? And what if they came back? Because once, just once, I swear I heard it again. That same chant far off in the woods, and it sounded like it was getting closer. It started like a normal night. Guru wouldn't stop pacing. He kept scratching at the door, whining softly, tail twitching. He wanted to run. He needed to. I looked at the clock, 11:38 p.m. Fine, I sighed, but just for a few minutes. I put the leash on and we walked to the dog park. It was only a few blocks away, but the air felt off. The streets were empty. No wind, no cars, just cold, still air. When we reached the gate, I felt a chill. I shrugged it off. The park lights flickered overhead. One of them was completely out. Still, I let Guru off the leash. He ran ahead, tail high, tongue out. I smiled, but deep down, I felt something heavy in my chest, like we were being watched. I sat on the bench, trying to relax. Guru was sniffing around near the trees at the back of the park. Then I heard it. A slow tune, almost like a lullaby. I stood up. "Hello?" I called. My voice cracked. The whistling stopped. Then I saw him. He stood between the trees, a tall man in a black coat. Pale face, no expression, just staring. I froze. Guru didn't bark this time. He whimpered. His ears dropped. He backed away from the trees. The man stepped forward, his head tilted slowly like a curious dog. Then he whispered something I'll never forget.
He's mine now.
Before I could move, Guru bolted, running full speed towards the gate. I chased after him. My heart was pounding, and I could hear footsteps behind me. I didn't dare look back. I grabbed the gate, swung it open, and jumped out with Guru right behind me. But I heard the gate swing again. He was coming. I ran, dragging Guru down the block. My lungs burned. I turned the corner just once to see if he was following. But to my surprise, he wasn't there. Just empty street, silent, still. We got home, locked every door, every window. I closed the blinds and sat on the floor with Guru, my back to the wall. I checked the door twice, then I heard it. From outside my window, the same slow tune. I peeked through the blinds, nothing. But taped to the glass was a note that read,
Your door code is 9783. I could have taken him already.
I was utterly horrified. I couldn't even move. I considered calling the police, but in my area, they aren't much help, so I figured it was going to be a waste. I crumbled up the note and instantly changed my door code from my phone. I was up all night waiting for something to happen, but nothing ever did. After this event, all seemed fine until months later. Every night now at exactly 11:38 p.m., Guru stares at the front door, tail low, ears flat, and sometimes, if I listen closely, I still hear it. It was a warm afternoon. The sun was starting to set, but the sky was still a soft orange. Maddie, my dog, was full of energy. "Let's take her to the dog park," I told my friend Maeve. Maeve smiled. "Perfect. I need some air anyways." We grabbed Maddie's leash, and she barked with excitement. Her tail wagged like crazy. We walked to the park, talking and laughing the whole way. It was a quiet evening, but when we got to the dog park, no one else was there. "Nice," Maeve said. "We've got the whole park to ourselves." I let Maddie off the leash. She ran in circles, tongue out, jumping at the mosquitoes. Then we noticed him, a man. He was sitting on the far bench, half hidden in the shadows. We haven't seen him when we came in. He had a hoodie on, pulled low over his face. He wasn't watching his phone. He wasn't watching a dog. He was watching us. Maeve leaned over to me. "He gives me weird feelings." I nodded. "Let's not stay long." He called Maddie over and started walking towards the gate. Then the man stood up.
Pretty dog.
He said, his voice low and slow.
Pretty girls too.
He walked towards us. "Let's go," I said, trying not to panic. But he got closer.
Don't be scared.
He said.
I just want to pet the dog.
He reached for Maddie, then his hand towards me. That's when Maddie snapped. She lunged and bit his hand, hard. He screamed.
You little...
We grabbed Maddie and ran. I looked back once. He was standing there, holding his hand, eyes burning with hate.
I'll find you. You'll pay for that.
Later that night, we locked every door, every window. We checked the backyard. We didn't see him. I kept the lights on. Maddie wouldn't stop pacing. She kept looking at the garage door. Maeve said, "He wasn't just angry. He's probably gone." I tried to believe her, but something felt off. At midnight, I heard a noise. The garage. I froze. So did Maddie. "Maeve?" I whispered. "Someone's in the garage." We grabbed our phones and called 911. The cops came fast. 2 of them. They told us to stay inside. One went to the garage door. He opened it slowly. A long silence.
He's in here!
The police officer yelled. They pulled the man out. It was him, the man from the dog park. He was holding a knife. He had a backpack with rope and duct tape. He also had a napkin with our address written on it. We watched in horror as the cops took him away. We couldn't sleep that night, and we had just a few weeks later moved because we weren't sure if he'd find us again. I installed cameras in our new place and kept the garage door locked at all times. Now, every time I walk by a bench at the park, I look twice, just to be sure.